Right. Peace and blessings, everybody. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Welcome to the Cheat Code Algo Technical Analysis class. All right. Each and every Wednesday, this is the Sauce Factory. We about to go in. Okay. So let's get to it. Today, we're going to go over reading the oscillators, setting up for good trades, not getting tricked off the streets with the bad trades, the false breakouts and all of the good stuff. It still will happen. Nothing is 100% proof, but we are going to give you a little bit of an edge to combat that situation. Okay. First up, we got Tesla. I was telling a lot of guys I was bullish on Tesla this week, coming into this week, right? So when you're approaching the market, you want to do a simple little breakdown. What is happening on a 4 hour? And when I was looking and I seen how beat down it was, right? We had this green box down here on the swing. This swing telling me that Tesla's extremely oversold. And when it's beat down like that, it's just a matter of time before it try to do a pullback and have a nice little run to the upside. So how I normally do my setup for each week, simple little rundown. Ain't gonna take us too much long. We're gonna get rid of this all of the stuff. No distractions, right? We're gonna go out to the weekly chart. And I'm simply gonna highlight the weekly levels, right? So this the current week candle that we're on, but this the previous week. So I like to pay attention to like how the week actually, opening up and how it's progressing, right? So that's last week low, boom, and then want to go to last week high. That simple. All we want to do is know the previous week high, previous week low. That's gonna show progress. Cause you notice on this week, guess what? They dropped. Previous week than that, it was an inside bar. They did not really escape this engulfing candle here. So we know something is going to be fishy with that. Anytime you got an inside bar, 9 and 10, you have that followed by uptrend, or it could break down. The week kind of started off like it was going to break down to the downside, but quickly start retracements, right? Retracements start happening because we had an order block on a weekly chart that we keyed off of right over here. All right. So by recognizing, and this is what I talk about in previous episodes of the three candlestick order block continuation. So this thing forms, right? Then price later on will come right back down to it, and then boom, find some, form of support, make it go up and keep going. Just by simply running a fib, we can start getting an idea like, hey, where can we go, right? If we go to the last swing low, want to go here because we're gonna act like this didn't open up. This is we're gonna treat this like this Sunday or Friday whenever you do your breakdown, like do mine on Sunday. So with this previous low, that low didn't get violated. So we're gonna stop here and say, hey, where can they go? So I'll be looking for a 50% to 61% retracement on that. Now that I have my level marked out, weekly level, I'm going to go down to the daily chart. Boom. Now I'm going to reintroduce my oscillators and I want to see how things are transpiring, right? So from there, I'm looking at it. My squeeze and my swing in bearish territory, but they are also bottoming out. I got a red little indicator here telling me it's want to go. The swing is down here in the bear side. The MACD also down here in the bear side. But if you look at it, it was setting up little divergences on the MACD. Looking at the histograms, the momentum is shifting, right? So let's minimize that a little bit. If you look, once you start seeing that shifting momentum, same thing there. The MACD histograms are slowly riding upwards, right? They had a little dip here on Friday, but it was slowly riding still upwards. From there, the MACD, also the K2 lines on the MACD also found support. So when you got skinny histograms and your MACD K2 lines are starting to find support, that means a trend reversal is about to happen, or a potential trend reversal is going to happen, or you're going to simply say a pullback. Depends on how beat down the price is or where the price at in key levels will determine will it be an aggressive pullback or minor pullback. So you just got to keep your eye out for that. So as we drop down to the 4 hour chart, what we initially opened up with, if you look last week, We came into this green box. If y'all know what these green boxes mean, y'all know what time it is. When you see one of these on the swing, it's about to go down. When that thing come out of this box, it like to catapult back up to the zero level, which is this cross line here. Maybe back in the bullish territory, or at least retest some levels and get it high live. So on Monday, we opened up. We gapped down, boom, from last week. But Monday, that thing did some special stuff. It was doing some special stuff. All right. We definitely it got real, right? So we kind of started at a low and it popped, ran up a little bit. It came to test the weekly high, knocked that out, right? Then boom, it started trending back down. But we want to pay attention to that, right? We have to pay attention to the shift in the oscillators. That's why we use MACD and other confluences to say, like, all right, what are you doing? Right here, that February 1st, that Thursday, we had a hidden bearish divergence. That's what kind of kept it down in these levels. But slowly but surely, we had that green indicator here trying to pick this price up. So it was shifting. Let's shift down to the 1 hour now, right? You just really want to just peek and see what things are doing. Now you go back over here. To clean it up. So you already had the crossover, price running up. You had the hidden bullish divergence right here on the squeeze, price running up. Then you had the indicator. There you go. Followed by the buy signal back over here, telling you like, hey, we are coming. We want to get up and get somewhere. So that's paying attention to it, following the trend. I said, hey, Tesla 9 out of 10 is gonna go up. All right. I said Tesla's gonna go up and we're gonna see what's gonna shake. So when it came, where are we located at? This is what, Friday. Okay, boom. This one we opened up on Monday. They took out the low. So when they took out the previous week low, that's them taking a draw and run on liquidity. Once they took the liquidity, they kind of found themselves in this order block here. Once they touched that order block, they started nicely rejecting outwards, coming back down, retesting, and trying to get somewhere. These boys had a mission in mind, and they was gonna see it through, right? So what I like to pay attention to, once again, the oscillators. Once I seen the histograms here on the MACD, very skinny, very weak. I'm like, okay, it's a high probability about to pick this up. I found my low for that day, and I actually hopped in, took a nice little ride to the upside. Once I start capping out by midday, I went on the exit. No harm, no foul, right? But later on, Tuesday, Tesla said it had a plan. Yeah. So Tesla said it had a plan. MACD crossed over. And that thing say, get it how you live. Get it how you live. Okay. That thing said, boom. Hit that low, bounced right off that block again, took off running. No look back. No look back whatsoever. It completely filled this little gap right here on the 1 hour. Kept on running. So I like to use a 12-minute chart. So we're going to drop down to the 12 and you'll get a little more idea of what's happening on those lower time frames, especially when hitting these key points. So you see how it came down that morning, it gapped down, then they completely took price back. So when you had a plot candles on, this is the RSI, right? When it's dark blue like this, that means it's in deep in the bearish territory below the 50, right? But when it gets here and it starts turning lighter, that means it's inside the neutral zone going into the bullish zone. They literally reclaimed all that price that morning and then got up and got somewhere. So notice when the swing got above the zero level, that's when they really got the rocking. Yes, they tried to put in a couple of regular bearish diversions to try to pick it down, but you seen they said no mas. All they did was come back, rebalance this fair value gap right here. There you go. Once they came back, rebalance this fair value gap, that's when they really start taking off. And you got a nice little move on Tesla. They fighting it. They trying to fight it up, but hey, once again, it's just a pullback, and you just simply pay attention to it, right? It's a little janky, but this one I mean. People are taking wild shots at it, looking at squeeze, looking at swing, looking at the MACD. People are taking quick pop shots, taking profits, but this is the zone here, right? As you see, price keep bouncing in and out of the zone. This is the zone they like to buy and ride. I'm still waiting on higher levels. I still want to see if they come back up, hit this weekly high, probably get to the 23%, maybe more. Who knows, right? But just looking at it, they're currently coming down. So you want to pay attention to this stuff, right? When you start getting these little indicators, you start seeing the squeeze lightening up, you start seeing it separating from the Hall 20. That's how you know momentum is shifting against you, right? Momentum is coming down to a more level playing field for them to either pick up new buyers or for sellers to say, hey, this is a good spot. We want to go ahead and take it to the dirt from here. Okay. So that is Tesla. Now I'm about to switch over to Nvidia because I know they will
Hey,
rock.
Neil.
Peace and blessings.
I'm sorry. Could you repeat one more time and point out what you just said about the hull coming off of the squeeze? If you can just recap that one more time, I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's right here. So you see the hall separated from the histograms of the squeeze. They're showing a shift in momentum. So typically when momentum is riding in one single direction, you'll see that the hall is going to be on the outside of the hall and it's going to be pushing up. But the moment they start coming to even playing fields and they start kind of creating a separation, that's when you know a shift is coming for the reversal or a pullback.
Understood. But when I was looking at price action while looking at that, it is it me or it looked like the price action was somewhat consolidating as well. So that's what kind of threw me a little bit.
So price action and momentum is two different things, right? First, you
Okay.
can kind of say, look at it like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Momentum is the rate that it's gonna go. Price action just is going up and down and hitting certain key points, right? So you looking, momentum is leaving out. That's the reason why you're getting these small candles. When you see momentum is increasing, then size of the candles increase.
Gotcha. Okay,
So
thank you.
that's why when you have a skinny MACD, you have a skinny Hall, you don't want to trade in that because that is bad momentum. The best trades are when the momentum is scaling up like this, not when it's shifting down and without dropping. So if this have been fine if price was dropping at the same rate as momentum, but it was not.
Mm-hmm.
Same
Got it.
thing
Okay.
because the histograms read momentum and time. So it's like oscillators read time and price, right? But they really reading the momentum inside the ticker. That's why I noticed the size of the histograms match the size of the candles. So it's telling you
Mm.
it's low momentum.
Okay.
So that's why you don't need volume. If you use certain oscillators, you don't need volume because it's telling you what side the volume at. Smooth.
Yes, thank you.
Hey, Neil,
Yes.
um, will will a MACD respond quicker than the um squeeze on the swing?
Uh yes, and it depends on how you if you change it. It depends on
Gotcha.
the what numbers you input, but sometimes you don't need fast. You need correct because fast also throw in false signals. That's the reason why the stochastic is a flawed indicator because it throws false signals.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes
So
sense.
sometimes you just need to say, I don't need to be first. I just need to be correct. You just need to say, like, hey, is they gonna put the moment? Is the momentum going the right direction? And is I'm trading with the right side of the trend? So check this out, right? The zero level here. This market is now the swing. The MACD is in bullish territory because the lines are up here. So that tells me, long as these lines stay above here, guess what? It's gonna go up. It is gonna find support. But the moment they break down, then guess what? Then we know it's going back to the bear side. So that's what you pay attention to. But you also want to pay attention to the higher time frame. So when we're looking at it, you say, hey, what's going on here? So when you look, you say, all right, they trying to get up here. Reason why the MACD is making those wild swings on lower time frame because the 4 hour trying to get it up to the neutral zone, which is here. Now, also, mind you, certain oscillators, that's the difference between the cheat code oscillators and other oscillators. When momentum is low, the MACD K2 lines, the stochastic and RSI all like to retrace back to neutral, right? So to show you that, let's pull up an RSI. You got your TV on in the back, Lee. Hey, Lee, I had to mute you. You had your TV on. TV was on. All right, cool. So let me highlight this. Do I do? Oh, there it go. Oh, so y'all can see that pretty well. All right. So notice, right? See this low momentum? Do you see how they flirting right here in the neutral zone? Right? Hope everybody see that. So let me collapse this one. So y'all see how the oscillators, especially right here, all this consolidation, right? Let's focus right here. So you see how your moving average is right on zero. Everything is flat. Everything is flat. They go to neutral. So this is the false signals right here. This is all false signals right here. That's the reason why I prefer the oscillators from the cheat code over the ones like the MACD and the RSI and stochastic, because look, they all go back to zero. They have a built-in reset setting or default setting to come to neutral when they are not doing nothing. So when you're looking at this and you say, "Oh, it's about to do something," no, it's no momentum, so it's gonna give you false signals. You can say, "Oh man, it's bearish." You start dropping down lower time frames trying to find action, and you may say, "Oh, it's going bearish. Oh, it's going bullish." And then you get tricked out the streets, right? That's the reason why I don't like these. There you go. But I use them for they have a purpose. MACD has its purpose, have a purpose, and those other ones for certain reasons. But additional confluence, right? I want to see that. I know they're gonna be a little faster, but I confirm with the squeeze. So look at it, right? MACD gate is crossover right here. It was still pumping up. So you really needed to right here. That's when it started really showing like, hey, okay, it's getting weak. It's actually getting weak. But here, it been told me like, oh, I can take the crossover here or whatever may be the case, and I go and get it how I live. But I could have been in some chop, especially here. That's why you just pay attention to what side is the market. If it's on the bull side or the bear side, depends on the time frame. If it's on the bull side and a higher time frame on the bear side, well, 9-10, when it crosses back down, it's gonna try to aim towards the higher time frame. That's what's gonna drag it down a little bit harder. But if not, if they say, hey, we actually trying to pick it up, as long as the upside staying in a positive cross up, you're totally fine. So let's look. Let's go ahead like this, right? Boom. Let's focus at this key point here. Let's bring it back. So this is our 12-minute chart when the MACD crossed over and it started coming down. Now, let's go up to the 1-hour chart and see what the MACD was doing and the oscillators. Look, they below the zero level, right? They still below, everything is below the zero level. Everything is in the bearish territory. But they slightly picked up and then they said, no hope, right? So let's go over to the 4-hour chart. Let's see what the MACD was doing then. And the swing. So notice everything was all beat down. Everybody was bearish. Everybody believed in it, right? They was close together, tighten it. They had a pullback affected the 1 hour, so that's why you had a crossover back here. So the moment you had that crossover back here, they brought it right back over here. So let's actually look at this crossover as another example too. When you got time, this is time confluence, right? So the 4-hour MACD crossed up. You got this, everything going there, right? Let's go down to the 1 hour. Boom. Your 1 hour crossed over back here, but you didn't get confluence to over here. See, it requires all of that. It requires you get a crossover in 1 hour, but it still have to start showing on a 4 hour chart for you to actually get that. So there's sometime in the option market that can take you a whole entire day. So we're just watching, peeping, learning, right? But look what the squeeze start doing. It starts showing you like, hey, momentum shifting down on support, but the swing, but that thing at right at the 0 level, ready to go off. And as soon as you see that thing break above, pressure start coming in, bada boom, bada bing. Then you had confluence of the bullish time frame shift. It'll say, hey, we bullish. Now we above the 0 line. So as soon as you see it find support and it start curling back up, you know high probability I can take this trade up because it's in the bullish side of the market. Got it? Got that, Lee?
Yes.
Got it.
All right, smooth. All right, so let's get over to NVIDIA. Do I do? All right, I gotta get some charting in first. Let's update this chart. Let's took that all back. See, what I like about they put in a boosted candle one day, but they said, nah, we picking this back up. The Pelosi's must dump some more money in. They say it's up like high blood pressure. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, boom. So from there, so this is what I seen this week on NVIDIA. Mm-hmm. Oh, gotta let the algo catch up. What? Do. So that's what I mean, right? You got price going up. You have it creeping, right? Boom, 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 boom. But you see how the candles are getting small by reading your oscillators, looking at it. All right, we know it's at a high here. You see how the squeeze, let's blow that up. See how the squeeze been below the 0 level. I mean, it been below the hall. So that's all I was talking about earlier. So you see how the separation that's telling you momentum is shifting. Even though price is going up, momentum is shifting. So all you got to do is be patient and wait, and you'll catch. This about patience. But you need more confluence. So you have to like kind of wait for it. It's at its highs. Just wait. Be a little patient, right? So I'm stalking it out. Need a strong aggressive candle. So the moment I start seeing price start floating, I'm like, okay, let me drop down to a 12-minute. Let's see what price is doing. Boop, 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 boop. We already had tests and everything like that. I'm like, okay, bet. Where was it? So I already seen this crossover over here. Having it start coming down. I said, bet. I said they had the red box once again. Had the red box, and like I told you, when they come out of the red box, they're gonna want to make an aggressive beeline straight to the 0 level. They love to do that, right? Momentum been shifting. I mean, shift. So I seen this candle come down. We got the BLS breaker structure about an algo telling you what it's doing, right? Then from there, I said, okay, cool. If this candle come in bearish, 3 candlestick order block continuation, they going to the dirt. So I was watching it, stalking it, boom. But I also remember I wasn't crazy, right? This one we got to use. This one you use your technicals, right? You have to keep your technicals in mind. What you got here? You got an order block. Boom. Pay attention, right? Price came down, abruptly reversed out and went up. So when you look, there's reason why price did what it did when it got here, right? It hit, boom, then came back, boom, roll back up. But by that time, I recognize where we're going. Zoom back over here. On a 1 hour close, I said, look at this candle. Ain't no way they're gonna pick this back up like that no time soon. And I re-enter this thing. So you have to recognize these size candles and say, hey, can I hold a little bit longer? Or do I need to get the heck out of Dodge? But what you're seeing was NVIDIA ran the whole entire gap, took that out. I completely ran that gap in one day. It's like, boop, got him, coach. What I was paying attention to is the oscillators. Now, when I talk about reversals, yes. What you got?
What
Got you
time frame were you on before you went to the 1 hour when you drew that
12
order
minutes.
block? Got it. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. 12 minutes. So when it hit the first time, reason why you want to be cautious, because remember on the higher time frame, this is a bullish market here. So you don't want to ever fall asleep at the wheel and not to have a great exit or at least move or stop loss and profit at that time, because any little hiccup can cause a reversal like this. You see why. So when it hit, they just happen to have the agenda on the hand. You seen how they kind of reversed up a little bit, just an aggressive pullback on a lower time frame, right? But paying attention to, sometimes you just got to scale out, go to the higher time frame, and sit back and relax. Boom. Your MACD crossed over at this time at 9:30. MACD crossed over. You had that downside. But that's what I mean. You see how the momentum is shifting back? That's when it went flat. Yes. What you got?
The order block on the 1 hour. So is this an instance when in previous class you taught us about order blocks and how it creates the order block, it comes back in and tests it, and then retests. So I'm kind of looking when it went below the order block and came back through. Is that I get a little confused about where would be a great entry when looking at it from the order block standpoint. I know we have to take the other things into account as well.
So this order block is null and valid. It was only valid for that one little instant right here, because it was off a 12-minute base.
Right.
This one. So once they actually came through with force, because they had a gap, they had priority systems. So we go down to 3-minute chart real quick. Let's get rid of oscillators. All right, cool. So on a lower time frame, right, this was the reaction. Consolidation, pop, drop, pop again, right? But did you pay attention to what it did key off of? Okay. So they tested it once, pulled back, second test, came back again, right, for this volume imbalance. Then once they did that, they dropped. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So that's when they blew through the order block. Not every order block gonna stand. They had their moment on the lower time frame. That's why I say on the higher time frame, it looked like a wick. But on the lower time frame, you had a whole complete reversal trade. You could have scalped back up to the nearest resistance, and this happened to be here. Was it? So there you go. So once they hit that, bing, 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 bing. They had to complete the gap. For them to run up higher, they had to fill this gap first. That so they can build a level of support. Thing about tech companies is they don't build support. Well, certain ones do not build support on the way up or the way down. So when they had a pullbacks and retracements, they tend to be a little aggressive. And that's the reason why it may look like this is a trend reversal. And sometimes it's just, hey, they got a rebalance price before they make a decision to go somewhere else. And you also had people with orders waiting at certain key levels to buy in. See?
Okay, I see it.
So yeah. So when they hit all that little number, they said 1, 2, 1, 2. Boom. We lit. You mean fine. Okay. So yeah, that's why I say, and if you look, go back to the 4-hour chart. Bring the oscillators back. Like I said, all your oscillators in where? Bullish territory. Now we're starting to get a red box on a 4-hour. But everything was pumping bullish, right? So even when it was doing all this pulling back and dropping and all that good stuff, it was always in bullish territory. That's why I say you just got to be cautious. You don't want to fall asleep at the wheel. You cannot say I'm gonna swing this for days at a time if you're a counter trend trading. So you would have took it down. That technically was a counter trend trade, and you don't want to get trapped in those. So you want to be cautious. Even though we had a nice little boosty kind of come in, it doesn't matter because the market is bullish. So you say, hey, all right, that was a great retracement, but no cigar did not break down. It held strong. So that's what you pay attention to. That's how you read your oscillators. You just, all right, cool. It's doing this, doing that, doing this, doing that. 4-hour chart was not ready to actually do any real do a market shift. Because they was gonna do a market shift, they should never beat this candle. They got new breaker structure. They should have came into this candle, found some level of consolidation and dropped, but they did not. They didn't have nothing to see about this candle. They chose to go make some new highs. That's how that went. All right. That is NVIDIA. Mm-hmm. So, bada boom, bada bing. Not ready, not ready. Okay, I guess I do Palantir first and I get to some Nike. All right. All right. All right, cool. So currently looking like Palantir is at a nice resistance level and look like it's trying to make a reversal. So this I simply understanding support and resistance.
I was in it since yesterday and I just got out before market closed today because I wanted to keep it for the till Friday because based on the higher time frame, it looks like it was going up, but it was reversing and I was losing money. So I said, let me get out.
Yeah. So from here, the bearish divergence set in on a 1-hour right here. Momentum started leaving out Tuesday. It's been slowly coming down. That's why you made the right decision because all it was doing was building up, building a nice bearish divergence and probably play out tomorrow.
Yeah, but yesterday it went up
Yeah,
and today it went up.
that's it. But you see, it capped out right here. So even
Okay.
though it went up, that's what a bearish divergence is. It's a divergence between price and the oscillator. When the oscillator do not agree with price. So it's showing you that momentum is leaving out.
Mm-hmm.
And even though price is going up, that's the reason why this is a slope here. So see the MACD, you see the histograms are dropping off like that. That's an aggressive leave. Like they are aggressively leaving. The buyers are aggressively leaving the market here. Then you have a crossover. If it was really going to continue, it would stay, but they are aggressively leaving. Now, when you come over to the chart, look at your candles. This is a 1-hour chart. Consolidation, 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 consolidation at a high. Anything that consolidated at a high, that means it's some form of resistance here, right? So we're going to put that there. Back out to a daily chart real quick. We'll say, okay, where are you? Look to the left. Do we see anything? Yes, we do. Oh, there we go. That's our answer. Right here. They hit a block. So there's a gap right here. They filled it. and they starting to consolidate. Last time it was here, straight consolidation, and they dropped from here. This is an area. They hit it. They did what they needed to do. And that's that. Game trade over.
Okay, so I got out at the right time then. Okay.
Yes. So if they probably find support, they may try to run it up, but I don't know what kind of news they got going on or events. Look at it. Oh, they had earnings. That's why. Okay, yeah.
I played the flush.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, so 9-10, they probably taking profits, and it's time to go. It got to the level it needed to go to. Anything higher probably be 27-13. It's never hurt taking profits. You can always get back in. Notice they took out this last swing high. Now you got a gap here available for it. It's up for grabs here. Back on his backside. So that's the stuff you pay attention to right there. Deep. And let's see. To this time, right? Yeah. So if you notice, you got a doji at the top of an uptrend, and they start already showing you they're coming down pre-market. So that is a good another indication that you have. Let's see what it closed like. It's closed slightly outward, so it can be a little bit in. It can still form a morning star, possibly in the morning, or it can go ahead and do a continuation. Depends on if they get some power. But if it ran its race, that moved pretty high. So I don't know if anybody's still interested in it because you expect price to go higher. You buying high, expect things to go higher. That's not a safe belief, right? So you always want to be careful with that. So all right, overall, good trade.
Thanks. I have one more question.
Yes.
Over there, I'm not sure what you call those number, all the way over there to your right. Or yes, over there. On my chart, it has a whole lot of numbers bunched up together. How can I get rid of it so it looks like yours? Where
Hit
you can
the
see,
auto scale
where is it? Wait a minute, where is it now?
right here.
Let me see.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so right here. So you got to highlight it. Go on the scale. Put your mouse on the scale, and then you see that A right there. Then you go boom. There you go.
And it disappeared. Oh, okay.
Yeah, then you got to unhit it again, so that way you can move the chart around freely. Then 9-10, all you gotta do is just scale up and scale down. You can do whatever you need to, like that. All right.
Okay, thanks.
All right. So let's get over looking Nike real quick. Now I don't play that stock. Ain't crazy, Elena. Do. Got a shift. They ran highs. They came back for this gap. They've been here before. Look like Nike trying to come up. No, that was a lie. They going back down. Okay. Yeah, it's volatile. All right, yeah. Trey, yeah, this like Nike had ran as high as it's back at this resistance level. 104.32 is strong, look like a strong resistance for Nike. And you also once again, uh okay, cool. So you're looking at it, right? They also set up a bearish divergence on the 1 hour chart right there with the histograms. You see how it's starting to get a little separation on the squeeze. Everything's starting to look like it's want to arch over here, right? So let's go down to a 12-minute chart. Current looking at price. So we got a nice crossover. Momentum totally shift to the downside. Unless they're gonna find support, I believe Nike. Yeah. Then they also down for post market. So they could be looking at some retracements coming up soon. So yeah, that is what it is. It is what it is. Okay. So yeah, Nike. Bada boom, bada bing. Up there like that. All right, so let's look at. I'll pull it up just for the hell of it. All right. So now get a look quick. Anytime anybody got any questions, feel free to ask. Anything?
How about Apple? I saw everyone was pushing up, and Apple was going the opposite direction.
Yeah. Let's look at Apple. Oh, got something with some sense. Something with some sense.
No, the only reason why I use that one because my friend's like, "Oh yeah, I make money like this all the time," and I'm like, "What is up with this PANW like Palo Alto?" And I'm like, "What the heck?" And then she just sends it to me, so it's not even mine, so it's somebody else's.
Yeah, I can't remember. They when they hit the market, like when they was a SPAC, like back in 21, they tied to a lot of controversy, so they need to be flying all over the place. Hmm. Apple cooled off. Now they're trying to go up. Let's see. Let's go to a 1 hour chart. They trying to get their life together.
Like everybody's ripping, and they're just like static.
Well, you gotta know most people don't really they really don't sell a lot of Apple like that. Cause it's like one of those, but since they pay dividends, people holding them or companies hold them way more. They prone to hold them because of that fact. Since they don't be like, all right, you get a dividend, so you don't necessarily have to treat them like any other type of tech company, like a Tesla, anybody like that. They actually hold this company for the long term. Some people may liquidate some shares to create liquidity, but overall, lately I know they've been on a campaign with those new Apple Vision Pros. They've been I know they paying people to wear those things out in public and do all those shenanigans. That way they can muster up attention for this. They pretty steady. They got dividends when Friday. Oh, there you go. Dividends coming up. So they probably get another. Yeah.
So that might be a catalyst then, huh?
Yeah, for them the drop afterwards. Unless let's see. Do I do? Because that's probably the reason why they running up, but people are kind of like seeing. I know nobody really want to just the people who probably was buying in for dividends already should have been in already. Oh wait, I'm on the wrong chart for that. You go out to the daily. I'm on time, man. This ain't taking forever. Yeah. So you look the very next day they took a little spill because people took their money back out. So notice. So they pop, then drop, right? And then here, people's in there. Then soon they got accounted for, they dropped. Pop, then followed by a drop. Yeah. So they pop, 1, 2. Third day they came down. Look like they got a little pullback action. Then I count on the opposite at this rate. Yeah, so that's today. Boom, boom. Yeah. Okay, cool. That's exactly what they're gonna do. So you want to have some people buy in. They currently probably been buying in for dividends, but nobody else gonna want to increase the price because they know it's Friday. So they're gonna probably pull up and then they're gonna sell off because some people that's join stocks just so they can get a collected dividend. So they'll buy like the week of the X date and then they'll sell them immediately right after that. Once they get accounted for it, they sell a position, take their cash, and go move to the next position. Then stock fails.
Got it.
So that's what could be it for the really uppy, for the pricey. Okay.
I'm waiting for Meta to freaking start filling that gap.
Yeah. Well, all we do is wait and see and wait. Cause that's it. Like, you just pay attention to like what it's doing, right? Like right now I'm watching this, it's kind of like, you mark it out the last swing highs every time they do one.
But it's
And
like a trend line right there too. It's like it's failed to make a higher high. It's almost like an M that wants to just come down.
yeah, that's what it's, boop, boop, right. That's why you can just mark the tops. I like to mark the tops. So you can be like, okay, here's my last swing high. I can set an alert here. You ain't got past that level, then I can also see it like, all right, what level I need to mark out for. So I put lines here on each tops and sometimes bottoms because give me a clear target versus like, oh, I got a ideal, you know. So I just ran a trend line. Technically, this is the trend. They changed it, right? Then you got to be like, oh, well, if I run a trend here, then that's that, right? So, you get kind of cluttery. You can just mark the last swing highs. That's the most important part is to swing high points. Then I can say, well, they need to get past 196.52. Then it can probably be a course correction to say, hey, we're gonna go up. If they get past 199.61, then definitely we're going up, right? But all of this is nothing but resistance. Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. So, all right. Any
No.
Yes.
Okay, if I get into a contract today and I want to swing it till the next day, what time frame do you normally look at to determine if you want to hold it or not?
1 hour.
Is it the it's the 1 hour?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks.
Because the 1 hour gonna have a stronger trend. A 15-minute, it can, if you at the end of the day, it can probably carry over to the next day. But
Mhm.
remember, the higher the time frame confluence, the stronger the trend. So if I'm gonna hold something, I'm definitely want to go with a 1 hour. 1 hour is to start of a swing trade and up. The 15-minute and below or day trades when you get below the 5 minute below, that scalps.
Yeah, I normally look at the 4 and the daily, so the 1 hour would be good then.
If you're just looking for one day, you can just simply use the 1 hour, right? To say, hey, I want to take this over a day or two. Because the 1 hour can get you anywhere between 1 to 5 days of a swing trade, especially you swinging with the higher time frame trend.
Mm-hmm.
So you can still use the 1 hour, but you saying you're just gonna hold it one day, it's you saying you got momentum following that direction,
Mm-hmm.
especially by the time the market is going to close, it's a high probability you can take that up. But if it's at a resistance level, then you just might want to be cautious because anything can happen.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
No problem. Okay, people got 5 more minutes. What y'all got? Any questions? Last minute.
AMD. You want to look at AMD? I had that for like I think almost all of last week, but I decided to get out because it was turning too.
You was taking it to the downside or the upside?
No, up. I took it up.
Yeah, so this is what you're looking for right here, right? Sell signal been popped in, but like I said, you mark the highs. This you swing low. Price still haven't taken and made a new high, but it's floating back to a low. So we either have a delayed shift So price should have went and done this when it bounced and put a new high in, but price did not. Price decided to do this and it potentially put a new low in. So those are your two options here, right? If price failed to make a new high, that means it's probably going to make a new low. Or it could test this level, then decide to bounce.
Yeah, that's what I did. When I got in, I got out with profit because it was going back down, but I'm going to get back in because originally I bought it for March the 16th. But I said, let me get out and wait until it start going back up.
Yeah, so you got to wait for it. Let it find support. Once it finds support, then you kind of like good to go.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Yeah, because see, you see your MACD, the MACD still crossed down. You still got the red indicator. It's still saying it's dragging downwards, right? So go down to the 4 hour. So now the squeeze is starting to bottom out, right? Because we're still in bullish territory. So the squeeze is starting to bottom out and it's starting to get real skinny. So it's telling me, hey, it's shifting. But I would have liked for them to kind of at least test the low a little bit for support. But it could be this is a low level support on the 4 hour. Let's see what the 1 hour got to say. Yeah. They shifting. But if the 1 hour do not get above in bullish territory, then it's a no-go.
Oh, so even though the daily and the weekly is still going up?
Not necessarily, right? Because the daily still pulling a retracement. The 1 hour was pulling back. So that's why I see if you look at it. The MACD is pointing down, is trying to find support on a daily. 4 hour is doing nothing but this. And he ran into his order block here. And now they reacting to it. When they react to their order block, unless they beat that, I'm sure they're coming back down to some lows. But they got to do something fantastic to, pick that back up. So just, be cautious about it. If it's go to support and, on a higher time frame still in bullish position, you shoot your shot. If it breaks support, cut the trade. But buying in the middle, you can either be winning or it's a high probability you can go down. So it's an either then what, right? Like what you're going to sacrifice here. So you can either let it come to support and say great, or not, play a breakout at all time high or midway high. Okay. So
but based it on off the 1 hour then, if I'm gonna get back in.
I'd say right now you need to see if the 1 hour get into bullish territory. And then from there you want to see if you get some type of bullish confirmation on the 4 hour. But I just found a resistance level. So I'll be conscious of that.
Oh yes, I will.
Yeah. So that's what I would like to recommend. And if you don't get it right here or anywhere that like in this ball, it's just because right now you're trading in the middle. You never really want to trade in the middle because price can either drop or it goes. But if anything, you notice, hey, I got a breakout at 180.03. If they break out from there, 910 are going to go test the highs. So I got a $5 move to the highs. So if I want to take the breakout and I see it's going through the breakout with force, you can always take the breakout. If not, wait for it, find support, and then consolidate. And then once it starts coming out support, enter the market where it's safer at. But you last thing I want to do is kind of get in the middle, and it's a if then what? Because it go either direction on you.
Okay, thanks.
My pleasure. My pleasure. And on that note, good people, that's that. All right.